continue on with our NeSA review. And so first of all, I have a question for you. Okay, which graph shows a line with a negative slope? So you've got A, B, C, or D. I just need you to go ahead and tell me what line shows a negative slope.
I pressed the wrong button.
A, B, C, or D. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what the answer is. The answer is C. Why is the answer C? It goes down. That's right. Which graph shows a line with a slope of 0? Which graph shows a line with a slope of 0? A, B, C, or D? The answer is B. Okay? So slope of 0, remember a slope of 0 is a horizontal line. This is the way, if you forget come like test time, basically you need to think slope of 0, slope is rise over run. So in order for us to get 0, that means that our numerator has to be 0. Our denominator could be anything. So 0 corresponds to rise. So basically it means it doesn't rise at all. Okay, so that's why it's a horizontal line. Okay, which graph shows a line with a positive slope? Okay, positive slope. Positive slope goes up. So, okay, and then last but not least, which graph shows a line with an undefined slope? Okay, undefined slope is letter D. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next one. So standard form, slope-intercept form, and point-slope form, these are not ones you need to remember, but they're ones we've talked about. They are on your reference sheet. Okay, so you already have these all listed. They are in a section, I believe, on the left side of your back sheet. It tells you linear equation forms. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and look at the following. It says, a line has a slope of negative 3/4 and passes through the point 2, negative 1. Find the equation of the line written in standard form. Okay. So first of all, there's two ways to do this. The first way is we can put it into point-slope form, or we can put it into slope-intercept form. And I think most of you like slope-intercept form, so that's what we're going to start with. And so we spent a lot of time in one of our earlier chapters going over these. And so if you remember, that's where I start. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus b. So whatever the slope is, that's what you plug in for m. Now I'm going to plug in the point 2, negative 1. So I'm going to plug in negative 1 for y, and I'm going to plug in 2 for x. So then now all I have to do is solve for b. So I take negative 3/4 times 2, which is negative 3/2. Okay, some of you are wondering it's negative 6/4, but I reduced it down. And then last but not least, what do you need to do? I need to add 3/2 to both sides. So what is negative 1 plus 3/2? 1/2. Okay, so that's what b is. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and substitute in that for the equation. So y equals negative 3/4 x plus 1/2. But if you remember, it says in standard form. So now standard form was ax plus by equals c, where the a and the x and the y are on the same side. So what I need to do here is move over the 3/4 x to the left side. So I really get 3/4 x plus y equals 1/2. Now what's going to happen is when you look at the answers, you're probably going to notice that none of the answers will have fractions. Okay, and so I have to somehow get rid of that fraction form. So how can I get rid of the fractions? What am I going to multiply by? What do I need to multiply by to get rid of the fraction? 4. So I'm going to multiply by 4 every term. So when I multiply my first term by 4, what do I get? 3. Don't I get 3x?
Yes.
What do I get here?
4y.
What do I get here?
2.
2.
Just kidding.
And there you go. So that should go ahead and match up with one of the answers. So with that in mind, we're going to look at another one. A line has a slope of 0 and passes through the point 4, -2. Find the equation of the line. So if it's got a slope of 0, it's a special line, right? It's what? It's either a horizontal or a... So it's either x equals something or y equals something. Okay? It's one of those. So in this case, it's either going to be x equals 4, because that's my coordinate here, or y equals -2, so that's my coordinate here. So the easiest way to do that, let's go ahead and figure out here. 4, -2. Where would 4, -2 be on the number or on the coordinate plane? Over 4, down 2. So here's my point. Okay, and so I need to have a slope of 0. So slope of 0 means what type of line? Horizontal. Okay, so on this line, is x always 4?
No.
What's x here?
-2.
Oh,
3. What's x here?
5.
5. What's x here? 6. So is x equals 4?
no.
So what does our line have to be? Y equals -2. Okay, let's look at this one. It says lines M and N are parallel. Line M has a slope of 2. Line N contains the point -1, -2, and y 4. What is the value of y? Okay. Alrighty. Line N contains the point -1, -2, and it's got a slope of 2. What does a slope of 2 mean?
Up to
I go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. So now in looking at that, what does this have to be in order for it to fit? 2. It has to be this point right here, right? So there you go. That's it. Okay, you could use a formula and go through and do our slope formula and all that, but it's not necessary because you can just graph it.
So you don't have to use the -1, -2?
Well, you do to start. That gives you your starting point.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at another one. Lines M and N are perpendicular. Line M has a slope of 1/3. Okay, so line N contains the point -3, 0. So first of all, -3, 0 is right here. Okay, if line M has a slope of 1/3, what does the slope of line N have to be? N has to be -3
Oh, 3 over 1.
3 over 1. Okay, remember it's the negative reciprocal. And so that means my slope is -3. So slope of -3 from this purple point means you do what?
Down 3 over 1.
Down 3 over 1. Then what do I do? Down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. So let me see. It says it's at the point 0, y. What does y have to be?
I can't count that far.
Negative 9. Okay, because we go down 3 every time.
So just to be clear, your point there is whenever it crosses your y.
Well, at least at that point it is, because it's there. Okay? Alrighty, so real quick. This is our last one. Lines M and N are perpendicular. Line M has an undefined slope. Line N contains the points 3, 2, and x, y. What is the value of x, y? Okay, so undefined slope means what type of line? Vertical. Okay, and so line N is got to be a,
Vertical line.
line N has to be a
Vertical line.
It has
Oh,
to be
horizontal.
horizontal line. So you've got the point 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And it's got to be a horizontal line.
So it'd be 2,
Okay,
3.
so
Oh, no.
what is the value of xy? Well, this is an xy value. This is an xy value. This is an xy value. So basically, it can be anything but what number? What? It can be any number but 3, 2. Okay, so what is the value of xy? It's anything but the number what?
3.
It's anything but the number 3. Well, you know that x, first of all, can be anything. So x is any number. What does y have to be? 2. Okay, so x is any number. Y has to be 2. Right. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and let you work on your worksheet. And this is due tomorrow as well.